Black women often talk about feeling unprotected by black men. Do you think black men actually hate black women, or is there something deeper going on here?
I don't think that
What?
all black women deserve protection.
Yep. Go ahead.
If I would just say this, I think the women who feel that way are the women who black men can't protect because they don't listen to us, they don't respect us, and they don't value us. Because the other women who do those things are protected by black men, so they don't have that same life experience.
I think first to want to be protected by a black man, you have to first get you a black man. See, if you don't have a man, no one is supposed to be protecting you but your father. There's nobody's responsibility. My mom did not birth me, raise me, and send me out into the world to go out here protecting random black women. That is not my calling. Now, for the crash test dummies who think that's their calling, I hope they run into situations, and I hope the situation don't end favorable for them because they're running into a crash test dummy is supposed to get decimated. Crash test dummies are not supposed to walk away unscathed. They're
Those are words of
supposed to take the blunt of the blow.
those are
So
words of
if
empowerment.
you want to go out there and be a crash test dummy, go do it.
Those are words
But
of empowerment.
tell the women to get themselves a man, and then they'll have someone protecting them. Until then, this is a moot point.
Yep.
All right,
Also,
let me get track beats in there because I know you haven't spoken in a while. What your thoughts,
I
track?
was I was just like, this subject always gets me because it's always like, why would we protect a stranger? I always get baffled by that. Like, the brown women that's in my family, they already know I'm I'm going all out for them. They could call me. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. It could be midday. I'm at work. If they got a situation involving another man and I have to be present, I'm pulling up and I'm going to show out. But as far as like me meeting somebody out in the dating realm and not knowing them that well, and it's a whole lot of bumping heads and combativeness, or say we haven't even made it to that spot, they still aren't under my wing, so I don't feel the need for me to risk my life for them. Like, I know for the most men that I've been around, when we think of protection, it's like all or nothing. It's always life or death that's knocking at that door when it comes to protection. So it's like, why would I just risk my life for somebody that I don't know? And then two, on top of that, we can look over at the other countries where brown people dominate. Like, we'll just call it Africa for now. All brown folks ain't kinfolk. So you don't see this tribe over here protecting this other tribe, or this community over here protecting this. We're mixed in the States. So I don't know who's in what community. You know what I mean? You could be my neighbor, but I don't know you from Adam and Eve. So if you have a situation, look, I got things to do. Uh, good luck to y'all. I hope you get it figured out and you safe. But I'm not gonna put myself in a position to kind of just be crashing out for no stranger. But if it's something that's similar, like that's, every situation has to be evaluated. So if I'm out with like friends of a friend and I could see that something has escalated a little too far and it was out of her control, I'll probably step in, and say a couple things. But as far as like crashing out and going on a limb, or just seeing a random situation taking place and me jumping in there, I'm not doing that. I have the other women in my life that I need to be protecting and making sure I'm available to jump out the window for them. For if I'm gonna waste a strike, it's gonna be for the ones that's, my loved ones that's around me, but not for a stranger or somebody I just met on a dating app or in the mall or on the street or somewhere like that. Like, that's crazy to me.
That's
So
a
track
fact.
beats. I I appreciate your sentiment because our number one priority should be to protect the women in our family, right? However, from a logical stance, I can even almost agree with you. From a in reality stance, when I've been in them situations, I always within reason, right? Now, if a girl and her guys in the middle of the street fighting and going back and forth, I'm staying my ass up out of that. But if I see a woman getting her ass, like I told the situation when me and my homie was outside and a girl come running down the street and he ripped her dress off and we up the pole, but he made him stay there while we got her some clothes. I'm not gonna pretend like I haven't jumped in and helped in situations where I'm like, man, bro, you're not about to just go in on this girl. If I see a dude just beating shorty half to death, I'm jumping in. And it could be emotional, it could be whatever. The thing is, I would feel like a coward if I went home watched this woman get beat up, and I just stood there like, man, she ain't got nothing to do with me. You just beating on me. Like, I just don't operate like that. And I'm not even gonna say none of y'all wrong for how y'all operate. I'm just saying that's not in me. I can't operate like that.
Would you still feel like a coward if you didn't do nothing that day, and that's the reason why you was able to make it back home to hug your kids?
Yes, I'll be a live coward. So
this is my question, right? And this is, I understand where you're coming from, because a man's natural instinct is to protect. Like we it's in us, unless you. For most men, it's just in us to do it, right?
Yeah.
But my goal when I leave out the house is to make it back. I have a family and I have people depend on me, employees of all the kind, right? But what I will concede to you is this. So again, hypothetically, right? Me and you cool now, right? We kicking it, we outside. I see your old lady without you being there, and she's being harassed by somebody. I step in then because she's your friend. But there's a connection that has to be there. I'm not going to jump out here and risk my life because, like you said, you have to uphold on, bro. So I know that anytime that I've had to pull my weapon, it's been used. So I'm not ever going to put myself in a position where I have to go defend someone, risk my life to defend somebody who's not connected to mine. It's more, I think it changed more so for me when I became a father. When I was young, I go out here and be super nigga all day. Cool. I was in the military, that's what we did. But now as a father, it's my goal to make it back to the house. So I see Lapeef wife, your girl outside getting harassed, and I've met y'all, we connected now, that's different. But if I just say, like, I ain't connected with him, but then, I see a girl that I think he know, I may hit him saying, hey, bro, your girl out here getting beat up, but I'm not fixing to go over there and jump in the middle of her getting beat up by 4 hyenas either.
Watch her get killed.
Yo, real quick. This is why y'all crash dummies, right? And I don't mean no disrespect, right? But it's probably several men on this panel who I would consider a crash dummy, right? Because we know the nature of women.
Put a name on the bullet.
Women don't. I'm sorry, Cynthia.
Put a name on the bullet. Say what you need to say.
No, it would be Kenny, Marcus, and Law, right? Now, we know the nature of women, right? They don't notice most men go by, they do not notice you, which is why women will say most men are dogs, but they only deal with 10 to 20% of the men. Those are the ones they're talking about. All of these, most men think like you guys, right? You've been in a situation where you protected a woman before. They don't even remember it, and they say that we don't protect them when all of y'all was crash dummies already for them, and they don't even pay you no mind. They forgot it even happened. They think we don't protect them because guys like me don't protect them. I protect my woman and my family, and certain other guys. But a lot of people have that sentiment of I'm gonna protect any black woman because we grew up with black women, and they put that nonsense in our head to just, oh, you a coward, and they fed that to us. But that's nonsense. You can't protect somebody that doesn't obey you. You can't at all.
How old are you?
I'm 32. My sisters, I'm the youngest. My sisters, they know better than to call me unless they're going to listen to me. If you want to listen to me, cool. You can be under my umbrella. I'll protect you. You're not about to go out here and hit all of the young niggas, let them all get the box, and then be like, oh, this guy, he put a gun to me. What? That's for you to deal with. You made that decision. You should have came to me and say, hey, you think this is a good guy? And I'd have said, yeah, I think that's a good guy. And then when he put a gun in your face, that's my problem because I made an issue. So no, it's my problem. But if you want to be out here doing what you want to do, I'm not the crash dummy.
White, Marcus, you got kids, big dog? So I'm gonna ask you a question. Just cool. Hey, I love that for you. Would you feel the same way if it was like the mother of your children that had this happen to her?
What you saying? Would I feel the same way of what?
Right. If so, I'm gonna give you 2 scenarios. One scenario, your baby mama boyfriend is beating her ass, right? And you knowing and you understanding the type of woman she is, right? So that's one scenario. Are you gonna go over there and help her?
My baby mama boyfriend is beating. I can't even fathom this whole scenario.
Cool. So
she got a baby mama, a boyfriend. That has shit to do with me. That's their relationship.
Hey. Exactly. So cool, right?
I'm not running to nobody's house.
Wait.
Right, let me give you 2 scenarios. A blockchain. I'm gonna make it clear for you. A building collapsed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I rushed into the building when it collapsed at the peril of almost losing my life.
Right.
Because it was still in danger. It wasn't a woman though. It was a man. He was trapped up under like a huge cement block.
Okay.
3 other brothers jumped out the street and rushed in too. My natural urge is to operate like that. And while I was there, I felt cowardly for doing it. because I was thinking, damn, I got to make sure I make it home to my kids still. And I felt I could have done more. And I felt like a coward for a couple weeks, even though I did rush in and try and help.
Okay.
It's not in me to operate a certain way. And with the baby mama thing, you listen to the nuance I gave earlier. I said, if I see what looked like two people engaging back and forth in the fight, that ain't my business. I'm gonna leave that alone. But no, I'm not about to sit there and watch somebody pummel a woman and just
the,
be like,
the second scenario make sense though. That's why I didn't give it to you yet. So now, first scenario, he beating your baby mama ass. The second scenario, he's doing it in front of your son. Is your response the same?
No, I'm gonna get myself over there. Absolutely.
Right. I gotta pull up.
Okay, listen. If you intellectually listen, my ask you that was to prove this, is to see if you're intellectually consistent on your point. And you are, because that makes perfect sense. Now, like you said, you don't go to nobody's house. That's a relationship thing. That shit, cool. But as long as you're going to get your kids, the same way you're going to protect these strangers, have no problem with it.
No, that's inconsistent, gentlemen. That's inconsistent, because to be consistent means whenever you see a woman being assaulted by a man, you jump in no matter what. You don't ask questions. Consistency is, I'm not going to watch a man pummel a woman. That's what consistency is. Not trying to assess the situation and figuring out who did what to who, and what kids are present or what dangers are lurking around the corner. No. If you're the type of person that you will not allow or watch a woman get assaulted by a man, then you need to be consistent and jump in all the time.